There is little doubt in my mind that there will be massive upheaval in your physical life, but I fear the mental aspect of being so wrong for so long will be too much for most to bear. How will you react when your whole world changes overnight? How are you going to look into the eyes of your children and say that you were so wrong? Maybe you still think that it's not going to happen. If I'm wrong, then you'll be fine. But what if I'm right and you did nothing? During the rape of Russia by the Rothschilds in the early 90s, unemployment rates surged, and there was a 42% increase in the mortality rate of working-age men between 1991 and 1994. Russia still had the Deutschmark and the dollar to use as currencies during the collapse, and that may have saved millions. The problem is that when the dollar dies, I believe all fiat currencies and paper assets will die also. This means no food, no fuel, no money, no jobs, and no hope. Even with the first shockwave of this paradigm change, we have already surpassed the suicide rate recorded during the Great Depression. I had a father write me about a 14-year-old son committing suicide recently. I was also with another mother that told me that her daughter's 16-year-old friend committed suicide, and then a week later the daughter attempted her own suicide. I read an article about Kip Rusty Walker, 19, who committed suicide by stabbing himself on the stage while an audience cheered. All of this with the social support net still working. How do you think it will be when things actually get real bad? 2 times, 5 times, 10 times as bad? I believe that it will be catastrophically worse. It seems that every one of these school shootings or mothers killing their children are from people who are on some psychotropic selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, or SSRIs, more commonly known as antidepressants. These drugs are extremely powerful and can cause psychotic breaks that leads to violence. There are websites that documented 4,300 cases of crimes that are related to these drugs. These stories include everything from the Virginia Tech shooter to the mom who drowned her 5 kids in the bathtub. I would say that these drugs are much more dangerous than guns because they cause people to break from reality. We will see later about the mass medication of America and the real reason why marijuana is illegal. But I do want to warn everybody of one thing. Nearly 10% of the country, or 27 million Americans, are on these drugs. Please understand that there is only a 1-month supply in the system. The kind of psychotic breaks that will happen if these people come off these drugs too fast, en masse, will be catastrophic. When the dollar collapses, we not only have to worry about the 7 to 10 day supply of food and fuel, we will really need to worry about the 1 in 10 Americans that are not going to be medicated while their paradigm collapses. You can almost see it now, humanitarian airlifts dropping Zoloft and Lexapro from the sky.